Getting to the end of 2025, I thought it was time to reflect on those we said goodbye to. These are the designer luxury items that I have sold in 2025 and how much I sold them for, because you want to know. If you're new here, my name is Lexi. If not, welcome back. I love to review designer luxury items, helping you make a more informed purchase for something that's probably going to be quite expensive, and maybe some tips on how to do it. I put out videos every Tuesday, and if you could also hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can know when my next video comes out. But now let's dive into what was sold in 2025. I really only sold purses, a designer shirt, and then a pair of designer shoes. So we've got a mix of items. Most of them were handbags. So let me go through what I sold in 2025, starting with my Givenchy white buckle boots. So these were from quite a few years ago. I got them on a secondhand site, super sale. Like, okay, this is worth buying and hoping my feet fit, because I find a lot of designer shoes, I'm between a 39 and a 39 and a half, and it really depends on how the width is and how pointed the shoe is. I like them because they add that little bit of edge to an outfit, but I would put them on and my feet would scream. I'd walk 20 feet and it's like, okay, this is not happening. They were just too narrow at the front. And so I thought, okay, I'm just going to sell them. And in the end, I think I made money on them. So I sold them for $143 on Poshmark. And I do believe I did make some money on them, which, shows that I got such a good deal on them. And I thought they were fantastic, but sadly they couldn't stay. I had also sold my Gucci Marmot Double G shoulder bag. So I did review this previously. This bag has come up in a couple videos of me saying, okay, when I bought this, I actually bought it new from the Gucci store. And I loved this bag. I wore the shit out of this bag. I loved it. I got my use out of it for about 2 years. It was the only bag I wore at a time where it was a really big deal. I mean, it's always a big deal to get luxury, but this was really, maybe I extended myself in buying it. This was a big, big treat for me. I loved that bag. It was a great size. That's one thing I loved about it. It was like what it fit. It was a great size of purse. However, it was only a crossbody purse. And you're going to see a theme as we go through what bags I sold. I used to love crossbody. I do not anymore. It has to have another option over crossbody for me to buy it now, because I won't just use a crossbody purse. So for that reason, I wasn't using it anymore. I thought she deserved to have something better and sold it on Poshmark for $860. And I believe it was just over $1,200 new. The next bag I sold was my Givenchy Mini Pandora, and it was in this beautiful bubblegum pink. Oh my gosh, that's what sold me on the bag in the first place. I got some smoking deal on it from a secondhand store, and I just died for the color. I still do. I would love to have another. I have another pink bag that I wear all the time and use all the time, my Lady Dior. So, yes, I love pink bags. I got great use out of it. But again, it was only a crossbody. So I just wasn't reaching for it anymore because I don't want to wear a crossbody anymore. If it had a top handle, it would have stayed. But because it was the mini, it just had a crossbody. So I sold that for $450. Next, I got the Marine Serre Second Skin. So this was a super popular shirt, I think a couple years ago. I found it on a really good deal on Poshmark and I thought, okay, I'll try it. I ordered a medium. Generally, I'm a small or a medium in a shirt, depending on the cut. And I thought, well, this would be fun to layer with. You can mix it up. I really do kind of like having tight styles. It'll look cool, versatility. No, I didn't like it, had no breathability. I felt like I was just going to sweat my ass off every time. And it was so tight. When I got it, I was like, did I accidentally order a youth medium? Like, I know it's supposed to be a second skin, but it was so tight. It was way too tight. And then because it was so tight, it would just curl as you wore it. It would just kind of roll up. And ugh, didn't like it. So out it went, sold it. I actually made money on that one as well. I sold it for $175 on Poshmark. I had bought a pair of Valentino slides from Essence, brand new, a couple years back. And I felt like, okay, slides have a bit more give in the sizing, right? Just because the only part that's really sizing is length and then the band. So I took the plunge. I bought them. They were a really good deal. I wore them a couple times, but they were too small again. The other thing is my feet got slightly bigger. I don't know if you guys know this or if you're another parent who had this experience, but basically once you're pregnant, you have this hormone relaxin, which relaxes your joints so you can give birth. And because there's so many little joints and bones in your feet, it can relax your feet, especially with all the weight and pressure on it all the time. And so it's not atypical for women's foot size to go up. And unfortunately mine did. So that was the reason why a lot of my shoes went. Thankfully, I didn't have many designer luxury. This was a pair that I did have. So these I also sold on Poshmark. I sold them for $190, and I hope they're getting the love they deserve. Next, I sold my Chloe Fade medium. I think it was technically the color was a maroon or purple, but it was really a burgundy. So it had the nice suede, the detail. But again, this was like a very iPad size, right? So it was very thin and boxy and crossbody. No more just crossbodies for me. I know that now. This is a lesson I've learned. And so I sold that bag as well for $550. I think that Chloe's coming back, so I hope she gets lots of love and a long life. But again, not for me. And last, this was my biggest sell. This sold for a lot more than I paid for it, and I bought it new. I ended up pretty much getting what I paid for it back. This bag I loved. I still think it's a gorgeous bag, but I bought it for a purpose, and that purpose has hence faded. So it was collecting dust, and I thought, okay, this is still a new bag. It's still available in the boutique, so I should sell it while it's still got some really good value. So this was my Fendi Sunshine Tote in medium. So I had it black with the tortoiseshell handles. It was pretty much new. I had a bag shaper in it too, so the inside was totally protected. I had the dust bag, all that kind of stuff. So that I sold for $2,800 through a consignment. I really, really want a Fendi bag because the quality was there. It was beautifully made. I'm so happy with the bag, but I bought it to kind of commute back and forth through work when I was walking a bit more. But now that I'm biking and running at least half the days, I really just don't end up using it. And when I do need to carry more things, I just carry a backpack. It was a beautiful bag, but I think the timing was right to get rid of it when I did. And so I don't regret it, especially how much I got for it. And that was the biggest sell. Right now, I'm very happy with my collection. I love all the handbags I have. There's nothing that I'm really looking to sell. There might be like one or two if somebody offered me some crazy amount, I'd let go. But really, I think my collection's great. There's a couple pieces I'd like to add, but I'm young. I've got a long time to curate the collection. So in total, I sold one, two, three, four, five, six, seven designer luxury items. And I'm pretty proud of the fact that they're now, getting some use somewhere else. We've avoided landfill stuff. That's another thing I love about designer luxuries. It gets a really long life. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this helped you think about your 2025, the directions you're moving in, the pieces that you're going to say goodbye to, and hopefully say hello to in 2026. Again, I'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.